Hello and welcome. It's another edition of Weighted to Win. This time we take a trip to KwaZulu-Natal. We're going to jump straight into the bar pots over here, where the favourite in race number 2 is number 11, Twinkle Little Star. It's at 22 to 10. I've got Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows with me to take us through today's show. So I'm going to start with Darren. Darren, thanks for joining us. The favourite in the second race, Twinkle Little Star. Is this the horse they all need to beat after a very good debut?
Brandon, I like her a lot. I think she's going to improve from that debut. Being by Silvano out of a Jetmaster mare, for her to show early pace on debut and stay on to a length behind Knockout showed she could have a lot of ability. There's been 2 direct winners from 10 runners from the race. That's good enough for me, and I think she'll take a lot of beating.
Okay. Daryl Marie doesn't really like the look of the race, because you'll have a look at his selections just now. He's gone 6 horses in the bar pot. Daryl, you're not convinced entirely about Twinkle Little Star?
I don't think the connections were quite convinced themselves first time out when she went off at 40 to 1. But in saying that, they could give you an indication that they didn't do too much with her and they weren't expecting that, and she's just got natural ability. So I respect her. I just thought I'm not entirely convinced, so I'm going to play wide. I'll put 6 runners. I'm sure I'll get through with 6. Hopefully I'll double up, Brandon. Yeah, I made this tricky.
Very tricky. Let's put those selections up on the screen. It is the first leg of the bar pot. Daryl Marie gone 1, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. By Banker 2, by 2, 6 and 7, by 2, 4, 5, 7, by 1, 6, 7, 10, by Banker 2. 288 rands the spent. Let's place accumulator time. It starts now in race number 3. Your favourite at 19 to 10 is Mumbo's Call. Lovely to have Fani Broncos doing a bit of travelling to Durban. He's been doing so with a lot of success of late. I'm going to go to Darren. Darren, Mumbo's Call, certainly the one that's going to have a big chance into that last 200 metres.
Definitely, I like that last run behind Hot to Ruby. I thought that was a solid effort, and he is raiding KZN again. I think he'll do well. Aberdeen, I'm almost ready to give up on this horse. He's costly to follow in his last 3 starts. 3 starts back, he moved up like a winner, stopped. Penultimate start, pushing all along down the straight. He was never travelling. And last time out, he was well beaten. So I've got question marks. Kumamori's should be right there. Venerable's going to enjoy the drop back and trip.
Okay, yeah, I think it's one of those races where Mumbo's Call's going to have a big chance. Aberdeen's been very frustrating. There were excuses last time out for Aberdeen, and I think we're going to give this horse another chance when it comes to this particular race, being race number 3. 5 to 1 does look to be value. They'll have a game plan from that draw. I see Muziyeni gets the right. One last chance. Daryl Marie?
And it's such a look Darren Burrows in the eye and say, Darren, don't give up on Aberdeen. Give him one more chance. Like you say, he came into the straight and Daryl Daniels was very unfortunate. I think a horse was falling back on him, took him up for a stride or 2, and then the race was over. He actually did very well to kick on thereafter and finish second. He only found 1 too good on the day, and that horse could be very decent. He could go on with things, and so could Aberdeen. So I bankered him. With regards to Mumbo's Call, Brandon, by now we'll know if Fushimi Inari has franked that Hot to Ruby form. If he has, or even if he hasn't, I still respect his claims, but I'll bank at number 2 in all bets.
Okay, I agree. Aberdeen, one last chance. 5 to 1 does look to be tremendous value. Let's put those selections up on your screen. It is the first leg of the place accumulator. Daryl's going to banker number 2 by 2, 6 and 7, by 2, 4, 5 and 7, by 7 and 10, by banker 2, by 1, 2, 5 and 7, by 3, 4 and 6 at the back, and that's going to cost you 288 rand. The big one of the afternoon, the bet we all want to catch, is the pick 6. I'm hoping we can go very close to R1 million on the Sunday afternoon. Favourites number 7, Ibuto at 7 to 2, 3 Sleeker Silk at 9 to 2, and it's 5 to 1 and better. Those. Darren, Ibuto. Lovely to see Muziyeni getting the opportunity for Alison Wright. Must have a big chance. That could be some value, 7 to 2 in the market.
Must be a big runner. I think he's done his best on the poly track, but he has run some fair races on the turf. I thought the value lay with Mr. Pigalle. Now he races off 1 point higher than his last winning mark, and he takes a drop in class. Last time out, he was staying on from a long way back behind Former Gear. The front horses got away, and he was staying on. He's yet to win on the turf, but he has run multiple places. And I think Mr. Pigalle is good enough for the first three. I did put the field in the exotics.
Tricky race. Like I said earlier on, this is a race where you want to try and catch quartets, trifectas, exactas, swingers. On the tote, we've got all those options that you can play into. Daryl, it's great to see that Muzi's getting the opportunity for Alison Wright. They did have that was Master Josh that won a good race. And Ibuto, I see he's jumped off Johnny Finlayson's also via Sleek as Silk to ride Ibuto for Hollywood. So does that in itself speak volumes?
That means business. Yeah, Brandon, I mean, have a look at him. I mean, he's 6 years old, but since the blinkers have been fitted, he's really been ultra consistent. I respect him. Also like Darren's horse in Mr. Pigalle, certainly doing his best work late, maybe a bit out of his grind because they went very quick on that occasion. The top two, or the first two past the post, didn't stop. San Pedro and, what was it? Former Gear. I think he's off a competitive mark, and I really like the look of Rodriguez. Now, I know some may say he's better on the poly track, Brandon, but if you go back to his latest turf run, he didn't disgrace himself off a higher mark. He's right down to a 65. That combination of hit form and stick with stables that have found form, Brandon. So Rodriguez for me over 6 and 7.
Okay, so we're going to put those selections up for you. It is the pick six. This is just a guide. You can add, subtract. It's entirely up to you as to how you want to play the pick six. Darren Burrows is going to go 1 to 12. So horses 1 to 12 in the first leg. That's field by 4 and 6, by 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, by banker 2, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, by 3, 8, and 9. And the spend over there is 3,888 Rand. Let's go to race number 5, the first jackpot where the favourites Pontiac. Number 5, 7 to 2. The 9 horse is at 5 to 1. I see COVID operators also at 5 to 1. It's 11 to 2 and better. Darren, we're going to need all the help we can possibly get in this race. It's not straightforward. As much as it's great to have Fani Broncos doing a bit of travelling to Pietermaritzburg, it's also good to have Johan Janse van Vieren in town.
Yes, Brandon, this is a tricky race. You know, I only went 4 and 6, and on the betting, I mean, I've got the third and the fifth horses on the board. Now, Dan Dolo, I was impressed with his last victory. He's very capable on his day. His last run at Scottsville, second to Beatonwood Boy, who's a really decent sprinter. Dan Dolo, 56 kilos with a 4-kilo claim of Trent Mayu. Prince Kresh, a course and distance specialist, 4 wins from 11 starts. I think he'll run a cracker now with Muzi Yeni in the saddle. I made the race between 4 and 6 and respect for Pontiac and Quandary.
Yeah, Prince Kresh, a very speedy individual and now drawn towards the inside. That could speak volumes over 1,000 meters. That could actually be the value in the race, Prince Kresh. Daryl?
Yeah, whatever price you can get on COVID operator being scratched is a good price.
That's obviously scheduled to run at Turf and Teen
on Saturday. I think that's a good bet over here, Brent. But he's not scratched at the time of recording. I just left him out of my perns. Prince Kresh of this course and distance, he's most effective. You know, Muzi, he's a difficult jockey to pass, and this horse shows a lot of pace, and he just holds him up, and then he pulls that whip. He sits on the side of the saddle. I can see that happening over here, and I can see him finding a second gear and holding them off. I think the one that he has to hold off is Quandary, but now Quandary's got his own quirks. He needs to jump on terms. But this horse is really disappointing, and I've expected more from him. And I think I'm going to be proven right in the long run that he's going to win his races. So for me, 4 from 2, respect for 5 and 7.
Yeah, Johan, if you are watching, please win, draw, lose Saturday afternoon, go to Hollywoodbet Scottsville on Sunday, COVID operator, so that I can take the cash from Daryl Marie. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing in this particular race. Well, Darren's going to tip us a jackpot. It is the first jackpot, race number 5. So he's going 4 and 6 by 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, by banker 2, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 108 Rand. Take it for as much as you possibly can. 10 past 2 is the off time. We go to race number 6, where Quirandi is your favourite. This is the start of Jackpot 2. 4 to 1 Quirandi. Muzieni's got a very nice book of rides come Sunday afternoon. 5 African Folklores at 5 to 1. It's 11 to 2 and better. Darren, what can you tell us about this horse Quirandi? That was a very good second last time out. Got no weight on the back.
I think she's a massive runner here. I know she's just turned 3 against older horses, but 53.5 kilos. She shows plenty gate speed. And she kicks on well the final 300. She's suited to Scottsville. Her only bad run of late in the Golden Slipper. Maybe she didn't see out the trip.
Yeah, and it was great to catch up with Faisal Fahab at the Hollywoodbets Durban July. A man that loves the game. He's obviously got horses all around the country. Daryl, it was great to see Faisal there. And yeah, I mean, he's got some lovely horses. This could be another one that's up and coming.
Must have won a fortune on Meridius.
That
Must have put them to sleep.
Yeah, look, I know on the day when we got to meet Faisal, I know that he was hoping that Keegan could arrive in the last race. I think it was USA's hope. We didn't get that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loves the game. We wish him all the best from the Waiter to Win team and the racing fraternity. Give Faisal confidence. Quirandi 4 to 1's a good bet.
I'd love to sit here and tell him that it's race over. One thing's for certain, she's at her best up the Scottsville Straight. She's making her handicap debut, so she could be better than her current rating. Yeah, I'll give her healthy respect, and I'll do fancy her chances. Reef Way, I think he's a filly. That's obviously changed yards now, but I think on her day she's capable of producing a great turn of foot and finishing burst. All depends on how far she is off them, turning for, going through the 400. And then Brandon Bevy's Delight has come right down back in the race in the ratings to a 94. I think she can start being competitive again. And then Acacia's Blossom is always honest, and you can expect another bold performance on her behalf. My top 2, 7 and 10.
Thank you very much, Daryl Marie. Let's put up that slide. It is the start of Jackpot 2. Daryl Marie's going to tip this jackpot. He's gone 1, 6, 7, 10. By banker 2, by 1, 2, 5, and 7. By 3, 4, and 6. 48 Rand is the spent. Let's go to race number 7. A nice competitive race. I see Golden Tatiana at 7 to 10. And guess who's riding? Muzieni. He's got a lovely book of rides at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I'm hoping by now he's already had a good 2 or 3 winners. 3 Donies at 28 to 10, 7 Klawelamis at 11 to 2, and at 7 to 1 and better. Those. I'm going to go to Daryl Marie first. Daryl, Golden Tatiana, 7 to 10, looks to be an excellent price.
Yeah, Brandon, how far can you throw a stone?
I must be honest with you, I've never tried.
Okay.
I've tried shot put.
I think this will win as far as you can throw a stone. I really think she represents a lot of value at her current price. She's been taking on the best of her generation. She's been far from disgraced. Up the Scottsville Straight. She'll get first run on Donny, who will be closing in, no doubt. But I think he'll be found wanting in or the line will come too soon, let me put it that way. So yes, overs.
Famous last words, Daryl Marie, pay. Let's see if Darren Burrows can give us the confidence. Darren, I'm not sure how far you can throw a stone, but 7 to 10 does look to be a wonderful price.
Yes, Brandon, I actually told a couple of guys Friday afternoon, I said this filly's opened even money. I can't believe the price. She should be 1 to 5 on. And maybe she will start that price closer to race time, but 7 to 10 is still a lot of value. She's placed in grade 1 company. She's taking on a bunch of maidens, excluding Kawe Lami. And her market rival, Donny, was staying on late over a mile The drop back to 1200, I don't see him being a threat. So Golden Tatiana, a confident selection.
Supremely confident. Darren Burrows and Daryl Marie. Golden Tatiana, 7 to 10 the current price. Have a good strike on that one. Race 7, it is over 1200 meters and it goes off at 20 past 3. We're on to the penultimate. It's race number 8, where Tree Fairy is your favourite at 33 to 10. It's over 1,950 metres. The 4-year-old Bay filly, Fani Bronkhorst and Rachel Venica, they team up with Tree Fairy. I'm going to go to Daryl Marie first. Daryl, does look to be an open race. Quartets are going to pay money, yeah?
Yeah, Brandon, box the field. No, it is that type of race. I think you can make a claim for most of these fillies and mares over here. My top pick, possibly number 5, Manic Monday. I think she goes well over this course and distance. She is effective on the turf. And in her penultimate start, when she ran beyond Reckless Love, she was desperately unlucky. So I expect her to reverse that form. What else is in here? Number 1, Tree Fairy. I mean, she's coming to the province in good order. She's found good form in the, and you can't ignore her chances off this mark. She just tends to be slow out of the gates, and so she's on the back foot from the jump. And then you have to respect Reckless Love, who I know many people are going to say is a potty track specialist, but she's in a great vein of form. And Blazing Kiss is another that I've shortlisted over here. So for me, 1, 2, 5, and 7. But like I touched in the start of the preview, the race doesn't stop there.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't look to be a straightforward race. Johnny Finlayson's got the 5, Manic Monday. We wish him all the best. Let's go and see what Darren likes. Darren, can you give us some confidence over here?
Brandon, I can't. I thought this is an absolute field race. I've put the field in all my exotics, and I could touch on each and every runner in this race.
Okay, so double for Daryl Marie's going 1, 2, 5, and 7 by 3, 4, and 6. It's a tote double 1, 2, 5, 7 by 3, 4, and 6. Thanks to Daryl. That race goes off at 4:30, and it is over 1,600 meters. Just one more to come, and that'll be race 9. So we're on to the lucky last. It's race number 9, which is over 1,600 meters. It is a fillies and mares 69 handicap. For Shaw's the favourite. In the silks of Preggy Somersundram. He's got some lovely horses at the moment, Preggy. 33 to 10 is the price about this one. Sean Veal gets the ride for Duncan Howes. And it's 5 to 1 and better, that one. I'm going to go to Daryl first. Daryl, for sure. Lovely winner last time out. Obviously changed stable. What are you expecting? I mean, good draw. Going to be there for nothing. Horse to beat.
Yeah. Have you ever met Preggy?
I have, funny enough. Wonderful man. I mean, he's got
introduced me to him.
Canadian Summer. Lovely horse, and he's got a few other good ones coming through the ranks.
Sure. One of he owns a lot of horses there, Brandon. For sure, this filly, I thought she won with a lot in hand last time out. I looked at her breeding, her dam stayed, so I think she's going to appreciate the step up to a mile, and I can see her following up on that victory in her handicap debut. Preference, however, for Devils and Dust, number 4. I think she's a better turf filly. And I think the 1400 on a sticky track in her penultimate start wasn't quite to her liking. She goes handy, and prior to that, she's ultra consistent. So I make her the one to beat. And Rosie Lemon, number 6, Brandon. Looks like she's had the perfect prep coming into this race. She's having her pre-run back against fillies and mares 6. Yeah, just a few runs back. What happened? She fell. Did she peck or what quite
That's
happened?
right. There was an incident out at the Val with Rosie Lemon. She did come down. I was happy. There were actually 2 horses that came down that particular meeting, and both walked away 100% fine. So it's great to have her back in racing, and if she can come back to form, she's going to be a runner, Daryl.
Absolutely. So in order, 4, 3, 6, Brandon.
Okay. Thank you very much to Daryl Marie for his ongoing support and all the hard work that he puts into the Weighted to Win show. Let's go to Darren Burrows for the last time. Darren, can you give us confidence with For Sure? Because I like the way this horse is going about its business.
Yeah, I think she could be a class above these, Brandon. I know she's returning after a short break over a mile with a new stable. but she showed a lot of ability in her penultimate start against the Colts, and last time out she was a runaway winner. So I'm hoping that she can get it right. Miss Gibson interests me. Her rating's right down to a 54, 52.5 kilos, and she was making eye-catching headway over the 1200 last time out. So 3 to beat 9 to beat 8.
Thank you very much to Darren Burrows as well. Great to have him back on the show. There's his quartet for the last race. 3 and 9, by 3, 8 and 9, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 224 rands to spend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. We hope that you have a wonderful Sunday evening. We'll chat again during the course of the new week. Bye-bye.